Hey, I'm your host, Melissa, and I want to welcome you to Not Your Average Blonde podcast. I'm here to show you how to elevate your life to become the best version of yourself. I want to take you along your journey to be anything but average and step into your confidence era. Join me each week by subscribing and listening to Not Your Average Blonde podcast, and let's begin our journey to become anything but average. Hello, thank you for joining me on another episode of Not Your Average Blonde podcast. I'm your host, Melissa, and I am here today to talk about how to date yourself and how to love it. So this week, Valentine's Day, it's almost here. It's Friday. And I know for a lot of people, especially if you're single, you might be feeling some type of way about it. But let me ask you, when was the last time you actually dated yourself? Not just tolerated being alone, but truly thrived in it. This also applies for those of you who are in a relationship, who are married, whatever it may be. If you're not single, this episode, I promise, will apply to you as well, because there are so many benefits that comes from dating yourself. So for me, I've been single for pretty much almost 10 years now. It's kind of wild. Some of it by choice, and then others just lack of opportunity. Had a couple of situationships that gave me some good lessons learned and gave me some ideas of boundaries I definitely need to enforce with it. But like I said, lessons learned. But I definitely did not expect to be single for so long. And let me tell you though, that learning how to date myself has been one of the most empowering things that I've ever done for me. Think about it. How many times have you gone on a date hoping for something exciting, only to leave feeling just drained and disappointed? We pour so much energy into finding the right person, swiping through the endless profiles, and searching for someone to make us feel seen. But what if the person you really need to connect with is you? I went pretty drastic after my divorce. I got divorced officially in 2015 or 2016, but we separated well before then. 2015 was pretty much the end of it. Paperwork was just finally signed in 2016. But I went pretty drastic after my divorce. I sold everything and I didn't have very much left. I packed everything that I owned into 2 bags and a backpack and I moved to the Middle East. My parents thought I was fucking insane when I did that. First, they didn't believe me. They thought I was just spewing bullshit. But I think if they've learned anything by now about me, I'm a person of action and I say what I mean. So I literally moved to the Middle East. I moved to Israel, bought a one-way ticket, moved over there. The timing worked out pretty incredibly. I received a scholarship to go study for my master's abroad. And like I said, the timing lined up perfectly. Looking back, it's crazy how the universe worked that one out. It was a massive move, so many changes in my life and very traumatic changes in my life. But it was one that I absolutely needed. So I moved over there. I didn't have any friends. I didn't know anyone. I'm not from Israel. I don't have family there. It's not my culture. It's not my faith. I'm not Jewish or Muslim. And it was just, I don't know, it was just something so different that it was exactly, like I said, what I needed at the time. But the time that I spent there, it gave me so much opportunity to take the space I needed to date myself. I didn't date anyone there. I had so much healing that I needed to do, and I was in so much pain. It was bad. I cried so much, and just the feelings of loneliness were really rough. It was a lot to process. I had so much going on in my life right before I made that move that just, I kind of hit that moment of fuck it. I have nothing to lose. So I'm just going to take this opportunity and just go. I didn't know who I was and I was so lost. Aspects of it, were extremely difficult, but it gave me the time and space to really date myself. I explored the country and other countries in the region, and I fell in love with just learning about the different cultures and the people that I met. I feel very fortunate because especially that region tends to have a very negative connotation associated with it. But I feel very fortunate that I was able to see and to be able to take part in a lot of the beauty that that region has to offer, and was able to develop, connections with people. For my undergrad, I studied business, but I also studied Middle Eastern studies and Arabic. That had piqued some of my interest already, in the region. And it was absolutely amazing to be able to go there and to be able to apply the knowledge. I had the language skills and the experience to be able to connect, to truly connect with the people that were in Israel and the different cultures that are there. It's such a melting pot. And then also some of the neighboring countries. I went to the Red Sea. I explored the Wadis and Wadi Rum in Jordan. I went to Turkey. I went to Qatar and UAE. I went to Ghana randomly. Had a really good deal to go to Ghana. And like I said, I was in that period of life where I didn't really say no to anything. I just said yes to pretty much every opportunity that I could. And it was so rewarding. I learned how to ride Arabian horses with the Bedouins, and I learned about their life, their culture, their history. I took myself on solo trips to one of my favorite cities on this planet. It still holds a very dear place in my heart, which is Jerusalem. I absolutely love Jerusalem. There's no other city that I've ever been to that's like it. Just the people I met there literally changed my life, and they gave me such a different perspective to approach life with. It was pretty amazing because I feel like several people that I met there could sense and feel the raw pain that I was in from what I had gone through. They showed me how important it was to take the time to slow down. I miss the busyness of the streets and the slow conversations with the different shopkeepers there while we discussed the nuances and experiences of this beautiful life. They really showed me, like I said, just how to slow down and the importance of it, because you never know who you're going to meet and the lessons that you're going to learn when you take the time to experience just being in that moment. They taught me how to fall in love with life again and how expansive love is. English does not adequately capture the concept and experience of love. It was so eye-opening, and I'm so incredibly grateful for that experience. And I feel as we go through like this journey of life, we get so focused on finding the perfect partner that we forget we are the foundation of the relationship we're looking for. The truth is, dating isn't about filling an empty space. It's about building a life that you love. And when you genuinely enjoy your own company, and when you know who you are and what lights you up, you stop settling for connections that don't match your worth. So today, this is what I wanted to talk about, is why dating yourself isn't just a placeholder for a relationship, but it's actually a power move for your future. And it starts with a mindset shift of viewing dating yourself from loneliness to empowerment. A lot of people treat being single like it's a waiting room. You're just sitting around waiting for the right person to show up. The biggest shift happens when you stop seeing singleness as a lack and start seeing it as opportunity. When you embrace solitude, not just tolerate it, you build confidence, independence, and clarity about what you truly want. If you're always searching for someone else to make you feel whole, you'll accept anyone who comes along, even if they're not the right fit. I fell into that mistake with my ex. So many lessons learned there. That's a podcast episode for another day, a much longer podcast episode, but I'll definitely will dive more into that in the future, and just the mindset shifts that I had to make from that and healing from it and bouncing back from divorce. But ultimately, when you take the time to deeply invest in yourself, you become the kind of person who doesn't need to chase love. Instead, love will naturally align with you when the timing is right. The shift changes everything, because instead of asking, when will I meet someone, you start asking, how can I make my life so fulfilling that anyone who comes in is just a bonus? And here's the thing, dating yourself isn't just for when you're single. Even in a relationship, it's crucial to carve out time for yourself. When you prioritize solo time, you maintain your sense of independence, your passions, and your personal growth. It keeps you from losing yourself in a relationship and ensures that you're showing up as your best, most fulfilled self. I feel like for women, we are often guilted into being considered selfish if we take time for ourselves. And I think a lot of women, myself included, when I've had past relationships, you do lose yourself because you give so much of you to the other person and to the relationship that you lose that connection that you have with yourself, because you don't take that time to nurture and to foster that relationship that you have with you. Take yourself on solo dates and nurture your own interests and enjoy your own company. It's going to create a stronger and healthier dynamic in any partnership, because the best relationships aren't created on neediness. They're built on two whole, happy individuals choosing to grow together. And we often forget that message. So how do we actually date ourselves? Let's break it down into real, actionable steps that's going to change your relationship with you. First is dedicate time for solo dates. Stop waiting for someone to invite you to the cute restaurant, that spa day, or that weekend getaway. Take yourself. Set a specific day and time each week, just like you would for a date with someone else, and commit to it. Next is romanticize your life. Get ready for yourself. If you're going out, shower, put on your favorite outfit, and make yourself feel amazing for you. If you're choosing to spend the evening at home, light the candles, play the music, create a vibe that makes your space feel special. One of my favorite things to do is take a luxurious bath with candles. I have this really cool astronaut thing that projects the galaxy up onto the ceiling. Very low lighting around my room and my home. I use Lush bath bombs, which are absolutely amazing. I'll bring a book and water to the tub with me and just enjoy. Like, it's my reset. It's my way of reminding myself that I am worth that time and effort. Which leads me to my next point, investing in yourself. Take that class, learn the skill, grow. Whether it's wellness, creativity, or personal development, self-investment is the highest form of self-love. When you prioritize your own growth, you start attracting people who match that energy. And you never know who you're going to meet while you're out there as well. Next is set standards, not just preferences. When you date yourself, you start recognizing what you actually deserve. This means you stop entertaining situations and people that don't align with your values. A big part of dating yourself is learning to say no without apologizing for it. If it drains your energy, if it doesn't serve you, if it doesn't align with your future, you don't have to say yes just to keep the peace. I heard this quote where if it's not a hell yes, it's a no, which makes it pretty cut and dry. If it's not a hell yes, it's a no. And lastly, practice self-compassion. The way that you talk to yourself, it matters. If you wouldn't say it to someone you love, don't say it to yourself. Why are you tearing yourself down? Stop that. Don't do that. We are so quick to criticize ourselves, but true self-love means treating yourself with kindness, grace, and patience. Treat yourself like you're a friend. Invest in you. When you start viewing being single as an opportunity rather than a problem to solve, everything shifts. You stop looking for external validation. And like I said, the same applies if you're in a relationship. You're going to continue investing in you, which is just going to make you a better and a stronger partner for your partner. You stop chasing love out of fear of being alone. And instead, you start attracting people who complement the life that you've already built. Because when love does come, it's just a bonus. It's not the foundation. So if you're single this Valentine's Day, I want you to celebrate yourself. Take yourself out, pour into yourself, and remind yourself you are already whole. So I'll talk to you again next Monday. Actually, later on this week, I'll have a longer episode for you on Thursday. Until then, I want you to go plan a date for yourself because you deserve it. Have a great day.